Welcome everybody to Market Masterclass, and today we're delighted to have a guest who's been in Asia for up to 30 years.
35 years now.
35 years, and we're going to discuss, we've been talking a lot about investments. We're looking at investing in yourself. So Market Masterclass, and today we're introducing Victor Jeffrey. So Victor, if you'd like to introduce yourself, please.
Thank you very much, Bruce. Nice to see you again. We haven't met for quite a while now. But my name is Victor Jeffrey. I'm a British national. As Bruce said, I've been in Asia for about 35 years now. And we've had a business in Manila for just over 20. Things in Manila now are progressing, and we're happy to be back and working here again.
So, 20 years in the Philippines already?
20 odd years in Manila. We've had an office here all of the time, yeah.
And a number of different businesses?
Yes, we continued our Hong Kong business, which is publishing and advertising. So we brought that here 20 years ago. Things are developing and changing now, Bruce. People are moving into the technology age and relying more on computers. But of course, print still does have a play a very big part in publishing and advertising. So we're trying to combine both now. We're doing a lot of print media, a lot of online media, and we're using computers a lot more now to help to reach people.
Right. So I know one of the books that you previously did was Super Brands.
That's quite old now, but yes, we did.
Insight into 50 Philippine super brands, and there's all the super brands there. So now I hope you're creating your own super brand.
Well, some of the brands, we did a project called Super Brands, which I was one of the founders in Asia for doing that. We went around the globe, but in 7 different Asian countries producing these books, and it was so interesting to meet some of the biggest brands in the world, and they participated in these print publishing projects. But now the brands themselves, although they're established, they're being caught up now by much smaller brands who are developing themselves, becoming big. And I think the internet has helped that massively. These brands are big household names, but now there's so many new brands who are becoming big global brands, and they basically produce the same type of quality. It's products and services. I think more now services are becoming important to people, and I think that is because of the internet and mobile technology. Not too long ago, you would go into a coffee shop, you would see people playing around on their computers. Now you go into the coffee shops and the bars and the restaurants, everybody's got a mobile phone. They can do the same thing on mobile phones. You can book a holiday, you can book a restaurant, you can book an airline ticket. You can do so much more now with technology, and a lot of this and a lot of advertising, my business and my core business, it's now moving into mobile advertising, and it's something that we see a lot more of in the future, and something I think people are relying upon more.
Right. So I guess linked in with that is this new, new to me. This is a completely new, because looking after your employees must be much more critical now that everybody's so more up.
Absolutely. And this is why I led into this really with about new technology.
Right.
Human resources with big companies and with small companies are very important. If you've got a small company, you rely on your key personnel to make it work for you and work with you. So you have to make sure that you've got the right people working with you. If you have a middle to larger size corporation, you have many hundreds or sometimes thousands of people, it's not always easy to know what those people are doing, who they are, what their backgrounds will come from. Now, of course, your human resources department interview them, which is expensive. You know, if you put a job and you may be looking for 50 people, you probably have to interview 500 or 1,000 people. Their CVs are pretty much the same. If you read 10 CVs, you can guarantee that 9 out of the 10 of them will have the same. They've got these qualifications, this is what they've done, this is what their background is. Now, this new product, Success Dynamics Alliance. Dynamics Alliance, this is the name of the company.
Where did that originate?
This originated in London about 20 years ago, and they've been continuously on an annual basis updating and improving their systems. It's psychometrics. What that means, it's measuring a person's abilities and knowledge to do different things. Now, it's done by computer, and as I'm sure you're aware, computers use a lot of algorithms to work out different solutions and systems. That is only part of what psychometric evaluations do. Over the last 20 years, the guy in London who developed this has been writing, he's been looking at the reports that people get and writing his own evaluations of them. This is where the real expertise of this company comes into it. So if you're looking to employ medium staff, medium level staff, entry level staff or senior people, by giving them an interview, it's a 10-minute or even an hour interview, it's very difficult for human resources director to give a true evaluation of what this person's, not only his abilities, but what his personality is like in the workplace. Me and you may work very well together, and maybe we will, maybe we won't. But if you're in a group of 10 or 15 or 20 people, some people find it very difficult to work in bigger organisations with teams.
So this is like, so you're basically confronting HR department?
Absolutely.
And giving them another.
It's another string to their bow. Yes, of course
yes.
it is. But it's a great tool for them to. It does two things. Initially, it helps you to employ the right type of person for your organisation, because the psychometric evaluations and measurements, it takes about 10 minutes to do it's not a test. It's a computer program whereby you've got multi-choices and you select what you feel best is your answer to. Do you feel good? Do you feel bad in this situation? How do you best describe yourself? So you're actually telling the computer what is inside of you. Now the algorithms work that out, but the expertise which has been developed, as I said, by this guy in London for 20 years, he's giving a full professional opinion on what you're putting into the computer. It then generates 3 graphs. One tells you who you are, one tells you how you perform at work, and one tells you if there's any problems, how you can help to solve them. Now, if you're employing a senior level employee, you want to know what that person can do at work. You want to know how they're going to perform in a team. And Success Dynamics Alliance really does help HR directors, business owners to work with the right people.
And are you, so you're bringing this out into Asia now and starting to promote it?
This has been in Asia now for 3 years. Okay. We started actually in Jakarta, which is quite a big operation in Jakarta. Okay. We're now doing it in Hong Kong, Singapore. It's already in London and in Tokyo, in Australia, but we're basing it now. We're basing our head office in Manila. Okay. Because of the Philippine market relies very, very heavily on human resources. You have a very, very talented workforce here, and Success Dynamics can really help to hone their skills. Because if you have a report, imagine if you've done this evaluation, you've received a report, and it's told you your strengths, it's told you your weaknesses. It's a self-evaluation tool. If you know what you're doing well, you can improve upon that. If you're doing something where there is an area for improvement, it identifies that and allows you to improve upon your performance.
As you're talking, it makes me think of the fact that one of the most dynamic industries here, I think I'm correct in saying, is the call centre, BPO.
Absolutely.
And that'd be very critical for them. That's another string in their bow.
It is. If you were to speak to the HR department of any one of the big call centres and ask them what their staff turnover was, how many people come in and leave, and the reasons that a lot of these people leave is because they haven't been identified as the right person for that position. Now, as I said earlier, if you're interviewing a lot of people, it's very difficult to see who the right people are, who the wrong people are, and they want a job, they want to get into employment. But for a very, very small cost and a little bit of extra time, get them to take the testing. You look at their graphs, you compare it if it fits the footprint that you want for the people. If it does, you can, with a 75% guarantee success rate, you can make sure that you're employing the right type of person for your organisation. So it stops you wasting time, stops you re-employing people. It's unique, it really is, and it's so. When I first did this test myself, of this evaluation myself. It takes 10 minutes to do it, another 5 to 10 minutes to produce a report. I read my report, which was 14 pages. It told me things about myself that I never knew before, and that helps you to improve upon yourself. So what you are doing right, which is great, you can also improve upon that. But we all have areas of weakness. If you can identify that, and it told me 2 things about myself which I didn't particularly like, but once I read it I realised, hey, that's really me, and then you can do something about it. Now if you can do that personally, that then reflects into your work. You become a better employee, you become a better manager, because you learn how to manage people. There's a lot of HR managers who, despite their title, don't really manage their people properly because they don't understand them enough. If you understand the type of people that are working for you, you can help them to improve.
I hope the HR managers themselves take the test as well.
I think it's critical that they do, because it actually makes them a better HR manager, because they understand themselves better, and more importantly, or equally as important, they understand the people who are working in a company, and it's their job, don't forget, to employ the right people for their company, because it improves everything.
So that's going to be a tremendous benefit for the country.
Without any shadow of a doubt. As I said, the Philippines has a very big, very talented, very strong workforce. If we can help to elevate the standards, it's better for everybody.
Some time ago I interviewed the president of the Call Centre Association. They have a new motto I thought was quite attractive. They said that work overseas, live at home.
Right, yes. Of course, yeah. And it's such a big industry here, and it's growing. People said that we've reached its peak.
I've heard recently somebody quoting there's now 1 million Filipinos working in 20 different centres throughout the Philippines.
1 million.
Call centre and BDO, business process outsourcing.
That's right, yeah. 1 million people.
Yes.
Can you imagine helping those 1 million people, even 10% of 1 million people, to improve what they're doing in their business lives?
So it's a big boost for the Philippines, and the Philippine economy at the moment is one of the boosting economies in Southeast Asia.
I read that in the local newspapers. Yeah. It's very, very progressive.
Yes. That's interesting. So I understand you also you lived in Europe for a couple of years recently, and you brought something that you found attractive in Europe to help people here.
I've always enjoyed looking at different businesses. I have my core business, which I love. I'm passionate about what I do, but I also like to see what's going on in other areas. I went down to Spain with my daughter for 2.5 years last year. We returned last year. And I was living the life of luxury along the Sunshine Coast in Spain, beautiful. And a lot of friends had boats. It's a very, very big yachting area down there. And one of those guys was the president of a big insurance company, and they were insuring all of the boats, marine insurance, all the way along the coast. Fabulous place to live, lovely industry. I believe you do some yachting yourself.
Yes, I do.
And which I think is how we got to speak about this. My friend who runs this insurance company said to me, you're going back to the Philippines. He said, why don't you have a look at extending and helping our marine insurance services? Because the quotes that they are getting in Europe, the prices, are very, very favourable compared to the insurance quotes and prices in in the Philippines. I don't know what it is about the industry, but it's quite expensive to insure boats in the Philippines. The insurance companies in Europe, which are backed by Lloyd's of London, can give much better coverage, equally as good service, and the quotes are very comparable.
Am I correct? I mean, Lloyd's of London is the sort of market.
That's the number one. Yeah. I'm sure that everybody has heard of Lloyd's.
So Lloyd's of London will insure,
underwrite all of the policies that for the Philippines. We started working with a UCPB General here as an introduction into the Philippine insurance market. Very big, well-known insurance company, and they can offer the products and the services of the European insurance companies. So it's a win-win situation for everybody. If you're a boat owner, You can insure your boat at very, very, very good service, at very, very good prices. It's all underwritten by Lloyd's of London. Great business to be in.
And so that's a very successful business from Europe that you're
Absolutely.
bringing now.
Yeah.
And this is, I guess, that's the way the world's going. I mean, these are wherever it's developed in the world, you can bring it into.
The world's a small place now, isn't it?
Yes.
Going back to what we were saying earlier about the technology it's made. You could be sitting in your office here, I could be sitting in my office in London, by the time zones, we could be having exactly the same conversation now.
Right. So this, I feel is it's going to be a real added inspiration to people setting up their own businesses, especially at the start, because what people do I employ, and this system will help them decide.
Opportunities are abounding everywhere, they always are, and if you can use these new tools that we have now to help you to be successful, it's wonderful. We didn't have, when I was a young man, we didn't have these opportunities, we didn't have these services available. Now we do have, and we should really be making the absolute utmost of them. And Success Dynamics for the HR industry is revolutionary. There's lots of companies around doing similar types or trying to get into this market. But the difference between Success Dynamics Alliance really is the 20 years of experience of the guy who's actually written his own programs, and the comments and the experience and talent that this man has is, I've never seen anything like it. It's revolutionary. It really is.
And there's, I don't know if you've seen, there is a series of books, travel books called Culture Shock. Culture Shock. Because every country's got its own culture. Do you think this is 100%, or do you think it'll develop a little bit with the unique culture that
I think culture is obviously important, but what this does is this is measuring an individual. It's measuring the human being's abilities and qualifications. So although we may be from different cultures, but we are all human beings. So if we develop this, it's in Tokyo at the moment, it's in Japan, and the difference between Japanese and British people are wide, but it's equally as successful there because it's aimed at that marketplace. So we can actually tailor packages for different industries, for different people. It works everywhere.
Well, Vic, nice to know that you're bringing something in addition to the Philippines, which is going to help the whole country boost itself in an economy which is pretty productive at the moment anyway.
Booming.
And it all, I mean, Super Brands you did how long ago?
Gosh, I'm giving my age away now. I started this about 14 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is the high tech Super Brand.
This is the future. This is the future.
Right. Well, thank you very much indeed.
My pleasure.
And that is our Market Masterclass interview for today. Thank you very much for Vic.
My pleasure.
Joining us, and we also have one of his assistants, who is also his daughter, who's well into this particular market, and who's going to give us a real insight, and because she's from the current upcoming generation of who are totally dictated to by technology.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.